morning, YouTube. How's everyone going? Today, what are we going to talk about today? But firstly, before I introduce today's topic, I'm going to just discuss why I created this channel. Well, just quickly and quite briefly. It's a result of my journey and in relationship with mental health and how I navigated my way through the system here in Australia and how I took what the system had to offer and then started to research, draw a line in the sand and self-educate and then slowly chip away, well, I guess not chip away, but slowly put the pieces of that puzzle together. And that's why I created this channel. So like I said, welcome, my name's Rion. Weekend here, I'm off to the market to get the food I need to keep me, you know, my mind and my body healthy. This is not about diet though. This is about meditation. And this goes back to the first session that I had with a therapist. And for those who have looked at my videos, that happened on the Gold Coast. And my first introduction to a therapist was there. And it was quite a rushed experience. I may have said at the time, or mentioned somewhere in past videos, the psychoeducation they deliver, that is the therapist, health professional, can be overwhelming because the sessions are about an hour. To be honest, I know I've said an hour, but they probably go for about 50 minutes, 55. I mean, these people, they're under the pump. So, you know, they've got their time frames, you know, they're overworked, the system's understaffed. I've mentioned that before. So it's quite hard for these health professionals to deliver what they need to via the health work framework that they follow. So that first session was, you know, it was quite unique because I'd never had one before. A bit of a snooze fest. That's no disrespect to the person. I know it sounds disrespectful to say that, but you have to understand that I'd come from work, I'd had a lot going on, I was suffering from anxiety, and that's what this channel's about, is navigating your way through anxiety at a low level, mid-level. Severe levels, you need to, obviously what I've stated before, be working with a health professional, i.e. a doctor, or maybe even someone a little bit higher up, like a psychiatrist. But this information can get you to think and help you implement strategies that took me a long time for the penny to drop, between 9 and 12 months, for that penny to drop, to actually take ownership, responsibility, and to do the research and then implement that step by step. Look guys, it's a slow process. I said it before, it's an endless road and you have to understand that. A lot of people don't tell you that, or they may have, but you missed it because you've had too much on your plate, too many things happening in your life, i.e. kids, work, wives, girlfriends, family, and other outside noises that make it, for a man, because I'm targeting men here, very difficult to navigate. And most men, especially the guys that walk into my classrooms, the guys I get to know a bit on long courses, that you can see that are struggling and they've just given up and just, you know, they're just grinding away. They're doing their best for their family, for themselves, to make an income and get through day by day, which obviously, if that's you, you know it's a struggle. And this channel provides some information that helped me and may help you. So let's go back to that first therapist. So she went through her educational process of discussing, you know, what anxiety is, how it may come about, and what you need to do and need to implement to reduce that problem and to get to a good headspace. So with a lot of therapists, and this is what the feedback I get from other people, they usually, but not always, discuss meditation. So today I want to discuss meditation and why it's problematic for men, but can be for women too. So just reverse the roles, ladies, if any ladies are watching at all. Why it can be difficult in society today and in general, because meditation works. However, the first problem is it's not a quick fix. It's long-term practice. And that practice needs to be implemented or practiced every week. And as a beginner, this is where it gets tough. So the first problem is setting aside, setting aside the time and the place and the space. If you've got a family, you got a few kids, you've got a wife, it's hectic, it's tough. It can be very overwhelming, and it's thrown into the too hard basket. You've got to audit your life, guys. You've got to look at the time management. Time management is very difficult if especially the construction industry, guys, or any other industry. This is across the board. This is all industry. If you're working long hours, working overtime, it can be very tough. I understand that. So you might be looking at nights. You might be looking at early mornings. Early mornings might be your go-to. Okay, that's the first problem. And that's why fellas drop out. And remember, you're not a failure. Not at all. It's just the system. You got to work around the system. When I talk about system, that is society. Let's look at number two. Number two. So number two is the old restless mind, and that's why you walk into that therapist's office, because of that is one of the many reasons, but having that restless mind. In Buddhism, they say the monkey mind. So it's very hard to wrangle that, to bring that to peace, and it takes a long time. So that's why many people, both men and women, okay, but I am focusing on guys, but same for the ladies, they give it up. They find it so hard, especially due to other circumstances, to calm that mind down. And you're not going to calm it down, okay, at the beginning. It takes time. So the restless mind, the monkey mind, will be your biggest issue. Let's look at number three. Number three, impatience. I think I've touched on this before. These all connect. It's like, joining the dots, crossing your T's. Impatience, a big problem for men. And so the ladies too, but for men are used to getting things done in most cases. Being occupied. Being occupied is very important. Also, doing your job, doing a hobby you like, doing things of that nature. But because meditation is not a quick fix, most guys will throw it in the too hard basket. Yeah, I'll just throw it away. Look, I'm guilty of that. When I went to that therapist, and I'll jump back to that now, that was the first thing, or the first strategy, I should say, that she bought out of her, as I like to say, bag of tricks. Bag of tricks in this particular case was meditation. And look, I walked out of that, quite disappointed, because what this particular therapist did was guided me to a website, and on that website, which was an American lady, she was a bit of a guru. She knew her stuff. I did follow it for a while, because the next session was a month. So I thought I'd give it a go, 3 days a week, and follow this lady and her guided meditations. And look, I'll tell you what, I got something out of it. It did relax the nervous system, and I'd fall asleep because I'd lay down. And that leads me into the next issue with fellas, especially if you're a big guy. You might be muscled out or carrying a bit of weight. So the next issue is you know, your body and being able to sit in that pose, the old traditional pose that you see the yogi sit in, or the monks. Forget that for most guys. That's going to kill you. It's going to send, it's going to give you some bad muscle cramps, some spasms, you know, those aches and pains. You've worked the construction, this is any other industry, you played a lot of sport like I have, you're going to really feel it after about, you know, a few minutes, believe me. So you're better off sitting in a chair, laying down, and that's the best way to go. Sit in a chair, lay down, but be mindful. Be mindful. You're not there to crash out, although it's helpful. You know, I used to get a few good naps out of that, actually. So I'll tell you what, that was a real pro. It did calm my nervous system down for a short period of time. So that, you know, that's another video. I'm going to break these videos into 2 parts, because there's so many great benefits to meditation, and I'll cover those because I like to present a clear balance. I don't want to be opinionated. I don't come from that background. You know, I went to university. You always look at both sides of the story and try to pick at the pieces and come up to a balanced type of conclusion. So that was the next one, which I've just mentioned, out of that session that I got with that therapist, that I found out the old body, it was hard, and you had to be very careful of your posture, because the posture can result in you giving it the flick. Let's talk about number 5. Number 5, boredom. Big problem. You may feel really bored doing this, okay? So it can be quite boring. And that's why a lot of guys give up. They get really bored. They get really bored, so they throw it again into the too hard basket, which is a shame, because the research is out there, and I just base my points on research, what I've read, because I'm passionate about it. So it's easy for me to bring this stuff up, bring these points up. I don't really need notes. That's well, you can probably see that I don't really use notes. I might bring a few points up sometimes on a bit of paper. But usually I don't, because I know that, you know, the topic area pretty well. No expert, don't claim to be, never have. But what I can tell you, I do have lots of experience with this and working around it. So boredom, it's a biggie, and you got to know that it's going to be playing on your mind, and that's the monkey mind. The mind's telling you this is boring, it's not working. In fact, it does. It takes time. So that was number 5. Number 6, last one. Getting a bit long-winded again. It's hard to keep them under 10 minutes, so it's really difficult. There's a lot of information to unpack and to summarize for each point. With that next point, or let's call it the last point, is the cultural aspect of that. What I mean by that is men's culture. In many families, you know, and different cultural families, the man in the family is usually seen as a productive type of person, where they're going out, they're going to work, they're earning money, they're supporting the family. These days, obviously, you need 2 people to survive with the way the economy is here and around the world. One income, in most cases, is quite hard. It's not as doable. In fact, in most cases, it may not be doable. However, you still are expected to go out and grind, do the work, get it done, and show up every day, and get home and, you know, obviously do the work with the kids if you got kids. So that's the last one. There are more. There's quite a lot. Do your own research. There's an endless list. Those are the ones I can think of today. And you need to think about what I'm presenting, take something out of that, because I'm going to break this video up into 2 pieces. Otherwise, it'd be like 40 minutes long. and most people are not going to watch it. I get that. They're going to take one or two and then click off. I understand that. So if you're still there, thank you very much. I thank you for the likes and the comments, but keep the comments positive, because this is supposed to be a positive channel. I don't want negativity on the channel. It just doesn't help anyone. It's a tough conversation, it is, especially for blokes. It's quite tough. So I'm just about to the market, actually, so that's good. So that means I can conclude. So in conclusion, they're the reasons why you may have dropped out of doing the old meditation thing, but don't give it up completely. There are alternatives that I'm going to talk about that I use, that I really think that are helpful for men. But meditation, it's proven, it has scientific backing, but it takes time. So anyway, as usual, have a good day. Start implementing these strategies, these ones that I'm presenting, because they're really, you chip away at it, you put it into your life, and over time you will make progress, and the people around you will thank you for it. They will respect it, and it'll make your life more peaceful. And you need a peaceful life, especially as you get older, okay? It makes life more enjoyable, and it's easier to get out of bed. Righto, enough's enough. I wish you the best, especially Headspace. Have a good one. Peace out.